Hey guys, welcome back to Hugs and Honey. I am Mama. Good to see you today. Thank you so much for being here. I know you have a lot of other channels that you could be watching right now or other things that you could be doing. So I appreciate you being here and listening in and your comments and just your participation. So I wanted to share with you a story that happened this weekend regarding my kids. And I don't know if this happens to you at your house, but sometimes my kids fight. Does that happen at your house? Do you fight with your brother or sister or with your parents or with friends perhaps? So what happened was my kids were fighting. I didn't know exactly what was happening. And I was in the kitchen and they were downstairs in the laundry room. And I just heard a door slam and some yelling happening. And then I heard my daughter start crying. And she doesn't cry very often. So I know that when she cries, it's kind of something big. And my son was claiming that he did not do anything and that nothing happened. He has no idea why she's crying. And as a parent, I can understand both sides of the situation because I was the oldest of 5 children. So I understand what fighting is all about with your sibling. And so because she was the one crying, and he's the one standing outside of the bathroom door. It seemed like, maybe he was the one that perhaps started it or was the one who hurt her somehow, which I still didn't know what happened. He claims that nothing happened, that she came out and accidentally bumped her head. And so it was a little bit we were unsure as to what happened and what happened to her. She was crying too much to say. And so I was getting upset with him because he wouldn't tell me what happened and he wasn't feeling apologetic or anything like that. He just was like standing there and saying, I don't know what happened. And so I was getting frustrated with him and trying to talk to my daughter and just trying to work our way through it because I didn't want to blame him and I didn't want to just assume that she had nothing to do with it because, usually it takes, as they say, 2 to tango. So usually 2 people are involved in a situation where you're fighting at home, right? It's usually not one person just doing all of the aggravating and the other person is just taking it. You kind of know what bothers your sibling and what doesn't. And sometimes we can get in moods where we bother our siblings, right? So we're working through that, and it's normal and natural for that to happen when you live in a close environment with people at home. Not everyone is going to get along 100% of the time. So you just have to find really healthy, good ways that are not going to hurt other people, whether it be their emotions, their feelings, or them physically. We especially do not want to touch anyone physically, right? That's not okay. That's not a good way to express what's happening inside of us. So we have to find other ways, like going into the bedroom and, punching a pillow if that's what it takes, or screaming into a pillow, or going and taking a run, or meditating if that's the direction you want to go. But anyways, in the heat of the moment, sometimes it can be very hard to pause and to stop that ball of energy that is just rage, right? It's just like, ah. And that is what they were both doing. And my daughter, actually my son less so, and my daughter was more sad at that point. But prior to that, that's what was happening. So back to where I was with my son, and I'm standing outside the door trying to console my daughter, trying to ask her to let me come in so I can see what happened. He's saying, I don't know what happened. And I started to get frustrated with him, saying, give me something. I don't know what happened. Please tell me so I can help her. And he said, don't get upset with me. And I said, well, it doesn't seem like you care about your sister, the fact that she's upset. And he said, I do care about my sister. That's why I'm standing here waiting to find out what happened to her. And I thought about it for a second, and I was still on this like train of being upset and trying to figure it out. And then I paused for a second and I said, you know what? It's true. He is standing here patiently waiting. He calmly said that to me. I do care about her, so that's why I'm standing here waiting. And when I stopped and that registered in my brain, I said, you know what? You really are showing me that you care about her. And that is really all I care about, really. I mean, I care about my daughter and her well-being and making sure she's okay. But I didn't feel like I needed to punish my son or discipline him in any way, because he was showing me that he did care for her and about her well-being. And really, I am trying to teach my children how to have compassion for other people and how to be kind and how to empathize and understand when they're sad and how you can help them through it. And so I stopped for a second once I realized what he said to me, and I was so proud of him. And while my daughter was controlling herself and calming herself in the bathroom, I went over and hugged my son and said, thank you. You know, you are right. You are showing that you care about her. And I'm sorry for not recognizing that in the moment. And thank you for showing me that you're doing that. And so if any mommies or daddies are listening to this right now, perhaps you might be able to, get something out of that too. Just that sometimes it's easy to get carried away with the emotion of the one that's crying and the emotion of the one that is always hurt. And sometimes we have to stop and look at all sides of the situation. And the person who we believe might be even doing the hurting, might be the one hurting on the inside who needs the most attention, like they're acting out to get our attention, perhaps. And that could be what your brother or sister is doing right now too, guys. But I just wanted to honor and respect my son and give him huge props, like whoop, whoop, like awesome, awesome job. He did show compassion for his sister. He was patient and waiting and standing nearby and attentive. He calmly told me that he was concerned for her well-being. He stood up for himself, which is the thing that I am so proud of him for, because I was trying to negotiate, try to figure out what was happening, and he could have just been like, I know, I'm sorry, like he could have not stood up for himself. And so I was super, super proud of him for standing up for himself and for just showing me calmly that he really was caring about his sister and was concerned for her well-being. And so then she eventually came out and he apologized for his contribution in the situation. She apologized for her contribution in the situation. They both felt better. We reset. You know how it's, you can get carried away with a certain energy, a certain momentum, and sometimes you just have to stop and reset. So we stopped and we reset and we went and continued our day. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because I thought that was a really cool thing that happened this weekend, and I was really proud of my son, and it was a good lesson for me as a mom too, because I'm still always learning too. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to teach my kids, and you guys really just share, when you're not being perfect, when you're not perfect and you want to change, you can. You just have to do it. You just have to be conscious and aware that, maybe it's in the moment or maybe it's after the moment, but you can always stop and go back and change the future. You can't change the past. You can apologize for the past and share the lessons that you've learned. You can't change it, but you can change the future. And so every time something like that happens, it leaves a bigger opportunity and possibility for you to change the future and push a huge reset button on your life and redirect to the energy flow that you really want in your life, which is smooth and fun and easygoing and intuitive and kind and compassionate, especially to your siblings, okay? All right, guys, that's it for today. I see you, I hear you, I'm here for you, and I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.